to the final round of the 1981 Australian Open Championship. This is the day when a player in this great field will join greats such as Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, Peter Thompson, Norman von Nyder and Ozzie Pickworth, just 6 of the really fine players who have won this great event. Well, it's a very warm welcome we bid you to the Victoria Golf Club, because conditions are extremely summery. A forecast top temperature in Melbourne today of 30 degrees Celsius. At the moment there's not a breath of breeze, although we might expect a bit of sea breeze to blow up during the afternoon. But really no excuses today, conditions couldn't be better. Well, yesterday the extremely testing Victoria layout caught up with some of the contenders. They didn't catch up though with the Texan Bill Rogers, who fired another great round of 69, an almost impeccable round, following on 71 and 69 on the first 2 days. A 3-round total of 209 to be 7 under par. He leads the field by 3 shots now from defending champion Greg Norman, who fired a par round yesterday of 72. Slightly disappointing though after a promising start. His first 2 rounds of 71 and 70, followed by that par round, leave him 3 under the card at 213. 1 shot back, a group of 3 players. Gary Player, who had a 73 yesterday, Jack Newton a 74, and Graham Marsh, who snuck into contention with a great round of 69. And then another 2 shots away, even par, an American named Alan Pate. He's no relation to 1976 US Open winner Jerry Pate, but Jerry Pate has a brother named Alan, so it's a small world even when you live in the United States. Pate had a good round yesterday, a 71, to be even par at this stage. Brian Crafter with me, and Brian, is there any catching Bill Rogers?
Tim, there is a possibility. He's certainly playing like a champion, very accurate golfer that he is, but I think we saw just a chink in perhaps his armour plate yesterday at 16 and 17. It is possible on this very tight layout here at Victoria to have just the odd wayward shot and certainly pay the penalty for it. But Bill Rogers takes a lot of topping, I think, because he is such an accurate golfer. But we've got Graham Marsh playing particularly well. Greg Norman had an up and down round yesterday and was scattering a few shots about, as did Jack Newton. Those boys could slip in and shoot a great round of golf, but I think we're going to have to see Billy Rogers play a little on the offside for them to have a chance. Yes, I'm tipping Rogers.
Well, the chink in the armour, just a touch of nerves, perhaps?
A touch of nerves, but the fact that everybody is human. They've got to play the odd bad shot, and if you happen to pick the wrong hole to do it on, and that's no choice, of course, you certainly can pay the penalty on this tight golf course here at Victoria. Yes, it really is a wonderful golf course, super weather. We're looking forward to a great finish today in this Australian Open.
Thanks, Brian. Let's get down to the action, and Brian will be joining our main commentators, Peter Thompson and Graham Dawson.
For the final round of the Australian Open Championship, now Gary Player at the 6th tee started with 3 birdies and then 2 pars, just 2 off the pace. A narrow fairway up ahead and hidden from view. You see, looking back, those trees intrude on the line, but that's the perfect place. Again, my word, he's in great form today. Pate. Gary Player. Bogeyed the 5th hole, sorry Peter, so he's back to just 1 under. And Greg Norman also took a bogey 5 at the 5th, so he is 3 under. And he doesn't trust himself with the driver. He's gone to the iron club, which means that he'll have a long, long second. A very simple swing and good body movement. He knows what he's doing, but that's in the rough. Bear in mind this fairway is just about 25 paces wide at that point. Now Norman wants to drive it with the big one. Well, we must watch with heart in mouth here as he lets this one fly. That's a massive hit. Now, is it on the fairway? It is. Oh, that's superb. Terrific shot. That. Now, second shot on the 5th, the one just behind Bill Rogers. Seven iron. Oh, now. Oh. Okay, that's just off the back edge. No problem there. Marsh. And he's a little nearer, so that's the 8 iron. Or maybe the 9. Because this hole is downwind. 370 metres. Flag on the right-hand side behind the trap. And a little bit shy there.
Gary Player then at the 6th. Has that gone astray? Not very likely the way he's playing today, Peter. Oh, magnificent shot by Player. Just 2 from the lead.
Newton. That's the one fairway trap here. Comes in from the right side of the fairway. Just a small wall on it, half a metre, and absolutely flat bottom to the trap. So providing he's got a clean enough lie, he can pop this straight onto the green. No trouble at all. Now, is it far enough? It is. Well, there it is. He's better off there than on the fairway. Marsh couldn't get that near.
Championship leaders board near the 18th green. Bill Rogers is 7 under par. The under par donated by the white figure on the red background. Player 5 under. Norman and Marsh 3 under. Newton 2 under. Pate 1 under. And those figures are after the respective holes played by those players. And Bob Shaw 2 over par. The black figure on the white background. Now, 6th fairway, 2nd shot for Greg Norman. And he needs a birdie.
A little sloppy, that one, not quite as crisp as normal. But good result. Now spinning back onto the fringe. Meanwhile at the 5th. Here's Rogers. Small green, this one, so it's not really possible to have an extra long putt. This is about 8 metres. Putt for 3 for Rogers, leading by 2. That's not far away, but didn't get much of a chance of going in. Well, it's all happening here at Victoria Golf Club this afternoon. Rogers started with a lead of 4. It's now only 2.
Now Greg Norman for a 3 at the 6th to get back to 4 under par.
Uphill putt, so you can give it a reasonable go. Oh, it's looking good. Please. Oh, you beauty. Oh, and Greg Norman is now back to 4 under for the championship. Oh, tremendous stuff.
Well, that's a needed birdie by Norman to go back to 4 under, 3 behind Rogers.
And at the 5th, just behind them, Newton for a birdie. Shouts going on all over today. Oh, that's in.
How tremendous. Gary Player on the 6th is for 3. And again, slightly uphill. Not quite. Not quite. He'll stay at 5 under.
Ooh. Well, now, that's 3 putts from Rogers. What is happening here now? Extraordinary things. It's a 5.
So Rogers leading the championship now by just 1 stroke from Gary Player and by 2 strokes from Greg Norman.
And doubtless he'll be feeling pressure now. He's got some good players behind him pushing him.
And there's the leaderboard by the 18th green and by Apexians, getting us right up to date. And I'll have the information that Gary Player will hole out here at the 6th for a par 4 to remain at 5 under. 8th tee, Greg Norman with the honour. Short par 5 will be looking for a birdie, if not a possible eagle.
And certainly it's on for 2 for Greg today. Almost calm, just a very slight breeze blowing. All needs to drill it down the right with a little bit of draw. He's certainly caught it solidly. Look at that ball bolt. Look at it. That's a long, long way down the fairway.
Oh, that's a putt from Rogers.
Oh, what an enormous 4 that was.
Well, he's not going to give up, is he?
Well, the flag is tucked just in on the right-hand side of the green, about 10 yards on the green, just behind a big bunker. Now, if that's Greg's drive down there, he'll only be going in with about a 5 or a 6 iron, even if it could even be a 7 iron. He's a long way down there. So he'd be able to play it straight at the flag because he does hit it very high anyway and get it to stop on the green. So I'd say he's got a great chance at an eagle and really catch up.
Well, having driven it that far now, he should get a 4, shouldn't he? A birdie.
He should.
Well, the crowd getting their money's worth watching this 3-ball. Now, trouble at the 7th, mostly for Rogers and a little for Newton.
As you said, Roger Newton may have been fortunate. I think the gallery helped his ball stop a bit quicker than it did Bill Rogers.
Yes.
Rogers just leading by 1 stroke from Player. Norman a further stroke behind. Marsh and Newton at 3 under. The only other players in the championship under par. Just 5 golfers under par, with Stuart Ginn even. And Mike Ferguson, Bob Charles and Mike Clayton at 2 over and Sam Torrance at 3 over.
Who's to play, Rogers or Newton? Now, Rogers is really in a bad spot there. He's well below the green. Big slope away there. And the lies are sometimes not good down there. In any case, he is faced now with the task of lofting one up high and making it stop quick once it hits the green. That's not so easy to do. Newton, on the other hand, has a much better chance. Well, he scrambled out with a par on the last hole. I thought really he was a little foolish in firing for that flag there, Roger.
Yes, it's well, actually Rogers is coming across the slope here, whereas Newton will be actually chipping straight back into the slope. So Rogers has got a very difficult chip shot here. But I think the wind, as you said before, Peter, is swirling, and especially down on that tee, you get the impression that you're actually playing into the wind. And I think that's what most probably fooled all 3 of the golfers there.
Now, will he loft it up high, or do you think he'll run it up that bank there?
It was very difficult to run it up the bank because they've grown the grass to approximately 2 inches high, although he has run it up there. It actually looked as though he came out from underneath a tree down the bottom there.
Just a stroke between the 2 leaders. Rogers 6 under, Player 5, Norman 4, Marsh 3, Newton 3. That's the state of the match here. Couldn't be more exciting, could it? Roger Davis, is this a straight putt there?
It should just be inside right lip, virtually straight.
Well, you were right and he was wrong. Now that's a stroke dropped to par. He goes back to join player on 5 under. 2 strokes over par for this round so far.
Be very interesting now with Norman with a putt for eagle on the 8th hole.
Yeah.
Big putt here for Norman to go to the championship lead. It's for an eagle 3. He's got it. And the champion hits the front. What an eagle, Roger Davis.
Well, that's the strength, of course, of Greg's game, the par 5s. And he hit that drive so far down the fairway and so straight, he just set himself up for that eagle, which is tremendous.
Replay of Gary Player's putt for a birdie.
Now, he can't believe that didn't bend. Well, it shows you how tricky some of these greens are, Roger. Gary Player misread that by nearly half a metre wide, didn't he?
Yes, well, he was coming down the slope there, and you know, they're so fast that sometimes you just want to give them that little bit more, because when they get near the hole, sometimes they can be going at nearly right angles.
Yeah, they slide away so quickly. Alan Paters finished the hole and he took a bogey on this hole. Now, Gary Player has this for par. Greg Norman with that wonderful eagle, that drive 7-iron, 3-metre putt, bang, eagle 3, hit the front as Rogers dropped a stroke. Gary Player is to stay in equal second position, to tie with Rogers. And down. Well, pretty obviously Greg Norman not in the trap. He's well short of the green, way away to the right. And you're going to be very lucky if he can save par this time. Oh yes, he's walking into that deep grass too, but look at it, or is that ball still in that mown strip? This will have a big effect on the way that he plays his shot, of course. Looks to be around about the borderline of that mown grass. Greg Norman here for 2 at the par 4, 13th. At least the flag's over on the left-hand side for him. He's got a fair bit of green to work with. Gee whiz, Greg Norman's is certainly to drop a shot now.
This is the hole where he almost holed his second shot yesterday. Get up. Oh, he nearly did it again. Must enjoy this shot.
Now Greg Norman's little chip shot. Still an awkward one, that thick tufty grass. That'll have to scuttle, come on. Always had 4 already, by gee.
Birdie putt for Bill Rogers. Will turn to the left. He must start it off above the cup to the right. Oh, he did it.
I would say that's almost it, Peter. What a crucial swing around in these 2 holes. Well, David Graham predicted this could be the turnaround in the whole championship. Greg Norman for 5, for a bogey 5 at the 13th. And quite a long putt too. Got to go in. Well, that's certainly a 6. I hope it's no more for Greg. Greg Norman for 6 at the 13th. Well, what a tragedy. That hurt.
Now this is a wonderful par 3 as a test of golf. The tee is lower than the green, hitting uphill just slightly, and the green is made by a sort of ridge across the width of the fairway there. Big slope on the front half of it. The flag today is up on the ridge on the left side, surrounded by sand, and beyond the green is a very steep slope way down to the 17th tee. Not too many threes made from beyond. Pulled a few shots today at the crucial moment. This is a shot into wind and looks like a 4-iron or even a 3. Uh-oh, now he's missed again. Oh, now that's down where Greg Norman went yesterday. Now if he's behind that tree... Now what happened there? I don't know that fellow left that ball alone.
17th, the long par 5, 530 metres.
Third shot for Gary Player. Well, he's turned his back on it with a certain amount of scorn. A good 1 to 2. He's cut it into the trap on the right.
Sixteenth again, and this time Marsh. Not really swinging freely, is he, today?
Oh,
seems to be very tight.
Yes, he's under a lot of tension. Graham would dearly love to win this round, and that's a great iron shot he's played there. And that putt has been the reason he's been under a lot of tension.
So, Newton. Wow. Tension mounting ever higher here. Rogers in trouble again. And also is Norman. And Player.
Yes. Well,
they're all trying to lose.
Oh my word, there's a tremendous amount of tension and pressure there on a tough golf course. At the 17th, this is the shot that Greg Norman has. I think it's his third shot. It might not be though, because he pulled it away badly to the left.
Surprising, Brian, that both Rogers and Norman have taken 6 at this hole twice in the first 3 rounds of the championship.
Well, it's enormously long, 530 metres, and playing against the breeze today. Looks almost certain to be Greg's third shot because he pulled it badly into the spectators, and it seems he may have got a bit of a lucky bounce there to kick back into the edge of the fairway. Good lie too. At least a 6-iron for Greg. Third shot at the par 5 17th. 5 under. He's got no idea what's going back behind him. He doesn't want to know. He's got this shot, must win it. Looking pretty good. Around to come. Well played. Good safe shot for Greg Norman. That's a very fast putt down the hill though. Very fast putt.
Very interesting situation here. Leads by 1, but can he possibly get a 3 from there? Now he's allowed to lift all sorts of loose leaves and twigs and bark and anything else that's there, but he mustn't move the ball. You see there the green is high up above him, the bank very steep. Well, he's going to pitch it up on the top. Or attempt to. Now if he overdoes that, he's going to career down the green, clean off the other side, down to the front somewhere.
This looks like he's hooding the face, but he might be going to try to bump it into the mound. Difficult to say at this stage what he's going to do.
Well, he needs a steady nerve here because he could throw it away right here.
And what a beautiful close-up picture of this is too. Just about read the name on the ball.
There's the flag. Anything but a straightforward shot. He considers Now, what will happen if I hit it too far? What will happen if I hit it too short? Well, it's preferable to be short here in his situation. Now, I think he's now decided he might run it up the bank. Now, he'll pitch it into the hill and have it bump up. Well, now he's into some rough grass there, and as we saw, Greg Norman tried it yesterday, and he didn't quite get up to the top. Oh, good shot. My word, that was a good shot. Well, as I explained, he's better off short than too far. He could have gone past the flag, down that hill, and even into the trap.
Now at the 17th, Greg Norman just starting his putt. Down the hill. Flag is set into the middle right-hand side of the green. He's coming down quite a steep slope. It gives you a pretty good idea of the slope. And then way up to the left. Flag down the right-hand side, not that far from where Gary Player is. It's a birdie putt. But I think he'll do pretty well to get that close. He'll have to allow a lot to the left. It's going to be a very, very difficult putt. This was Gary Player shot up at the trap. And look at that for a fine shot. Beautifully played. He had the flag removed, obviously tried to hold it. Scotty Gilmore coming up for a couple of last moment instructions. Two of these and one of those perhaps.
Norman took 3 putts from the other side of the cup yesterday.
And he knows how quick this is. So just a moment ago, take a very deep breath and just try and relax himself. Keep himself nice and loose, because he wants a very smooth, delicate stroke at this one. This birdie putt could take him to 6 under. The length of backstroke, just drew it back just a few centimetres and it just kept on going. Well, his par's not certain yet, although he does have an uphill putt. Well, he's elected to keep on going. Well, that's his prerogative. He can do that, because he knows the line well enough.
Good sense to it too, Brian.
The more he stays there, the more he'll stew, Peter, isn't it?
Well, he's got that touch on his fingers. He doesn't want to be standing around waiting.
Perhaps he could be furthest from the hole too. Now this for par. In. Well done. Still stays at 5 under. My goodness, that leaderboard's fast. That red 5 has slipped into that slot the moment that putt went down.
Good brave putt that, if ever I've seen one. Well, back on the 16th, and that is the result of Marsh's effort with his first putt. Just slid by and he'll mark.
That's how they stand in the championship. And here's Player for his par. And he's still in contention after making 5 at 17. 1 behind Norman. 2 behind Rogers, who has this for his par 3 at the 16th to remain the championship leader.
Oh, what tension.
Now the strain's really on him here. He can't afford really to rush this cup. Tear down past the hole as we saw Gary Player's putt do. Again, he's got to play very cautiously. did. Well, that was pretty good, considering everything.
And the data general score there right on the ball. Rogers and Norman now sharing the championship lead, one ahead of player.
18th there, Greg Norman. Very reachable par 5. Very gettable. He can get there for 2. Possibility of an eagle. Lots can happen yet. Easy par 5. Really gun this one. The crowd love it. Oh yes, that is a blinder. Oh, he's hit an absolute monster down over the hill here. He's come 70, 80 metres over the top of that hill. Look at that. He had no more than about an 8 or a 9 iron per second. That's an enormous drive. And Newton holed his putt. Back at the 16th. You can see that tail breeze here at the 18th. Now Gary Player. It's comfortably within range for Gary. He's only one off the pace. He's really walked into that one too. Is it straight enough? No, it's into the gallery down the left. It seems under pressure. Gary Player is still hooking that ball.
That's all right. Followed that one. And that should be okay. Well, basically, he's got to get a 5 and a 4 to tie.
In the championship, it's Greg Norman and Bill Rogers sharing the lead at 5 under par. Norman is playing the 72nd hole of the championship, Rogers the 71st. Player is 4 under, playing with Norman. Marsh with Rogers is 2 under. Newton with Rogers is 1 under par.
Oh, well, that's, as I explained, what happened to you if you go too straight past the corner. Rogers, joint leader. My word, he really is under some pressure here. Left side, rough perhaps? No. Okay. Good shot.
Greg Norman is behind that tree, about to play his second shot.
But the tree doesn't really interfere with Greg. He's back at least 25 to 30 metres short of that tree. He's only got a short iron, 7 to 8 iron for Greg Norman for his second shot at the par 5 last. No trouble clearing the tree. Great chance for birdie, even an eagle. Plenty of loft. How's it for length?
Bunker.
Well, he's hit it wide. He's caught the sand trap.
Grandstand's absolutely packed, and the fairway ringed back to the top of the hill from where the second shots are played.
Now, of course, one of the things we can't see from here is Greg having hit that short iron. If he's spinning quite sharply, as he always does, we just hope that ball didn't sit in its own pitch mark. He's got a moderate amount of green to work with here. Although it's all downhill, you won't want to do much more than just drop it out